What year, roughly, you're thinking about when you first developed this opinion?
Like 2008, 2000. But even
11
before, no,
years later, Chillin.
2007.
How do you feel his performances now relative to then? 11 years later. Do you think he should be charging Sports Match with C Stick and Z? Is that his biggest problem?
I don't think that's what he should be focusing on. No, I think there's some other more important concerns to deal with.
He's such a fascinating human being.
I'm very impressed by the self-confidence is incredible, because how do you have that when you're Blur?
I do think that, like, yeah, you got to flip it at a certain point. Just be like, look, the man's impressive.
No,
I've never met anybody else who could spend, and he hasn't, like, he loves Melee. He's loved it for 15 years, having never once improved. He's loved it.
No, it's great. That's in a way.
I wish I could love things that I'm not good at.
Would make a lot of things a lot easier, man.
But I feel like the way that I express my love for things that I'm not good at is I learn what they are telling me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I learn what the game's telling me that I'm losing, and I'm like, why? Why are you telling me that?
Yeah.
Blur seemingly doesn't have that relationship. He's got a much less complicated relationship with the game. It's just like, you exist, I exist, let's hang out. That's all we need. That's a beautiful thing.
That's pretty much Blur. Very accurate. Oh my god. So we got BigWenz versus Trev. Pretty even so far here. I think this is getting down to the nitty-gritty. This might be a round 2 qualifier here.
We saw BigWenz earlier. Well, it's still winners. That's what it says on the thing.
Yeah. So this, I believe, winner of this might move on into...
I'm sorry. Yeah, round 2 pool qualifier.
Yeah, the round 2 pools later today. But yeah, Wenz was looking really strong earlier against Hexadecimal. A little bit of a different matchup here with the Sheik, but not doing too bad so far in this one either. Oh. Okay, a couple fairs. Oh, gets the needle. Oh, wow, great tech, but goes down, and Trev catches it. I've always been really, like, interested with that specific recovery. The Fox Falco, they're slightly above the stage and they go down, because it's actually optimal, right? But because it's such a strong option, everyone knows to cover it, and so it becomes this crazy 50-50 of, are they going to cover this or not? Because if they don't, if you cover that option, you're committing to basically only covering that option is the thing. But it's such a strong option that you have to be able to cover it sometimes.
And they will die.
Yeah.
Right? If you cover it, then they're dead.
Yeah. If you cover it, then
it's 100% of a stop.
Yeah, even if they're at 30-40%, they're dead regardless. So it's it's just this massive option that is so strong, but also such a big risk if you do, if they do cover it.
Right.
But again, they have to make that specific decision to only cover one option, which you almost never want to do in Melee. You want to cover as many options as you can, especially when it comes to edge guarding.
Yes, which is a bias though. I think about this too. Like, I think that's ultimately true, and we see people not cover it a lot. But I think that the reason is not because you shouldn't. It's because people want to cover more options.
Yeah.
But it's almost like we're not covering the basic, most powerful option.
Right.
Because we want to cover more, which is like fundamental. You know what I mean? It's like it's wrong.
That's actually not.
It's not the right match.
Yeah. Oh, and that hurts for Trev. Yeah, that could have been a stock right there. That could have been literally just him winning the game, but turned around in a hurry.
Yeah, it was too big of a hurry.
Yeah. Fortunate for Wenz, though. He was in a bad spot right there.
Yeah. No, I feel like when I was playing really well in 2012, when I was doing lean melee or whatever, I've really thought about that stuff, and like just holding on the ledge and rolling like way more than I used to was one change I made that paid off big time.
Yeah.
Like, just stocks would go away from the opponent that used to not.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge deal for just grab the ledge and roll,
For sure.
Versus Falcon. How often do Falcons, like, you think they're coming on stage and then they go back, they fade away, they grab the ledge, and it's like, so hard to cover. But like, if you just hold on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very...
It's easy to bait that, you know?
It's a similar idea for sure, because once you start edge hogging, then the Falcon then has to start going on stage, which gives you the option to, destroy them when they get back on stage. So you have to show that you're ready to cover that option, though, because if you don't, then there's no reason for them to stop doing it.
Did you see that PC drop, by the way?
Oh, that was beautiful, yeah. I love how old school players are so good at PC dropping. Not me, but a lot of old school players.
It's hard with Fox, right?
Yeah, it's
I feel like
it's not bad with
it feels
Fox.
easier with Falco and Marth to me. It feels quite easy.
I feel like it's harder with Falco and Marth. I feel like the
Falco.
faster they walk, the easier it is to me. But I mean,
I could do it with Falco.
okay.
I can't do it with Fox.
Huh.
Whoa, what was that shine?
Yeah,
Oh,
interesting
he's gonna
option. Down tilt might not have killed yet, so he's probably just trying to find some other way to do it.
That was dope.
Yeah, nicely done from BigWenz. BigWenz looking strong here. Part of the staff of the tournament, but some of these staff members, man, I mean, you end up going to a lot of events when you're running them, so get pretty damn good sometimes. Okay, the most classic Sheik combo of all time.
I remember thinking Sheik was so broken when I started. I was like, oh my god, she's got such easy combos into forward air. Every single one of her moves combos into that, and it's a KO move.
Ooh.
It's actually so crazy how, like, there's a sense of, like, maturity as a player, you know, where when you start out, you see all these things that just look so imbalanced and unfair. Wow, I really like that up for a shine turnaround back there.
Right. That was nice.
Yeah, like, I still complain, but I used to complain thinking that I was right. Now I complain knowing that I'm just complaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
every
yeah.
character has cheesy crap.
Right, right.
Every character has gimmicky stuff.
Yeah.
The ones who don't, no one plays them.
That's true. It's really weird how sick this game is. I mean, I know we talk about it all the time, but just
You never stop talking about it. It's so good.
ridiculous because how did they just make this perfect game? It's never been patched. It just came out like this, and it's evolved so much. As we were talking about, it seemed like multiple times throughout Melee's history, it felt like the game's about to wrap up. Like we hit some kind of wall. The meta's going to stop developing. We're getting to the ceiling. And that happened as early as like 2004. I remember literally the tournament game over 2004. So many people like retired or said like,
no way.
oh,
Wait,
like,
why? What happened? I wasn't there.
So game over. Well, Ken won the tournament. Asen got second. You know, everyone was kind of like, okay, these two have the game figured out. The game is, you know, we've gone to plenty of tournaments already. We've been playing for a whole 3 years.
Seen everything there is to see.
That's it, man. We're not gonna develop this much further. So let's just move on. That's literally
so sick.
So many people's mindset in January 2004. Less than 3 years after the game came out, and
what
here
was
we
the
are.
next thing that like revitalized things in your mind?
It was just
because it was popping when I came in 2006, 2007.
I think FC got announced, which is what a lot of people were like, well, there's another major tournament coming up. Let's get back into it. So that kind of pushed things in the right direction. But that's the first of many, many times throughout the history. Like I said, when M2K was around, felt like, oh, he's pushing the game to a dead end. This is going to be it. And yet here we are.
Before EVO in 2013, there was dire straits. 2012.
There's so many times where it just feels like the game's almost over, and yet here we are, almost 2020, still playing Melee, man. It's a beautiful thing. But to see more of this beautiful thing, join us in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break. Be right back.